All right, David, a little NFL football for the people. You have a list of the 10 quarterbacks that have the most to lose this season, the most pressure on them. And I'll just tell you this, if number 9's not on this list, I'm filing a protest. But for right now, I'll listen to the music and play along. Let's go.
All right, here, the top 10 quarterbacks that have the most pressure on them in 2019. Let's start at 10. Kyler Murray of the Cardinals. It says this is the first time in NFL history that a team willingly took a quarterback in back-to-back years without some sort of circumstance. Murray has to prove he can do more with essentially the same supporting cast that Rosen had. Is this true? You believe this?
Yeah, I mean, I think most of that is true. I think they've tried to add some weapons. I mean, they drafted a few receivers, including that kid from UMass, Andy, whatever, or Ursella, or whatever his name is, the super fast kid. Look, I think Murray is under some of the most pressure in the league. You're talking about the height questions, you're talking about the system question, and his head coach is a controversial hire. So yes, I agree with that. They better prioritize getting legitimate weapons around him. Now, it's nice to draft somebody in the third round and say, well, here's something. David, this offseason after his rookie year, they better do everything in their power. They better get that offensive line right. They better get David Johnson and that running game going again, because without it, they're going to get this kid killed.
They need receivers, too, because Fitzgerald's probably going to retire.
That's my whole point. So he's under a ton of pressure. But if it looks like it looked with Josh Rosen, again, I'm telling you, these teams aren't going to give coaches 3-4 years. Kingsbury better at least look functional in year one, and therefore Murray has to help him do it. Yeah.
Let's move on to number 9. Jameis Winston says no more injuries, no more excuses, no more dealing with Fitz magic.
I'd put Jameis in the top 3. I think you're staring at any career in football being on the line with the 17 weeks of the season. The turnovers are unforgivable. I just don't trust Jameis Winston on or off the field. Yeah, I would have him in my top 3 personally. You've named 2 guys that would have been in my top 5. But yes, 2 for 2 as far as being on a top 10, no doubt.
Number 8, you might be surprised with this one. Aaron Rodgers says no one should doubt Rodgers' physical ability or his greatness, lest we forget the Packers were a Brandon Bostic botched onside kick recovery away from another Super Bowl appearance. But will Rodgers have his way, or will LaFleur convince A-Rod to play along?
I disagree with this one. I just don't believe he's under any pressure. Green Bay is a tiny market. The Packers are religion. Aaron Rodgers is their Jesus. Matt LaFleur doesn't register to me. Now, yes, is it important they get along to win? Of course. But if Aaron Rodgers doesn't play well, I just don't think anyone's coming after him. His job is not in doubt. He's untouchable. I disagree with that.
Number 7, Derek Carr. Carr's 28, can be cut following the 2019 season.
Yep.
Along with a Vegas move for the team with Gruden in charge.
Yeah, no, David, and that's my fault, not yours. Yes. The contract, they don't have to pay him much to get rid of him. I don't know that John Gruden's ever loved him. And just because I think Derek Carr's going to respond doesn't mean that he's not under a ton of pressure. I think you've you've touched every note there. Yeah, he would be in you've got 3 of my top 5, so I feel good about this.
Number 6, Sully's boy, Dak Prescott. Jerry Jones and company did a good job bringing in Cooper to be his number 1 guy, but there's still question marks with the offensive line and the overall. Says questions remain if Prescott can be the guy to elevate an offense around him. You agree with this one?
Okay. He's got a lot to lose, but I don't think he's under pressure. I mean, Dak is beloved in that organization. Dak is the unquestioned quarterback. He's got a lot to lose because he's trying to get paid. If you want to equate that to pressure, fine. But I view the pressure as could lose job, could be blamed for everything. People in Dallas don't blame Dak Prescott. That's a national narrative. Plus, I'll be honest with you, there were times last year where I went, not too bad, not too bad. and other times where I go, well, he is a bit limited. I'm going to disagree. I think I could find 10 guys under more pressure than him.
Number 5, Cam Newton. He is 30 and has been to 1 Super Bowl in his career, but he has dealt with inconsistencies and lately injury. But the sands are starting to run thin on whether Newton can be the next level player many expected him to be. True?
Yes. Long time ago since the MVP, isn't it? Feels like a decade.
It really does.
They drafted a quarterback, and they drafted it at a spot where they could have got Cam more help. I don't know the status of Cam's arm. He's got a new throwing motion now. The brand of football he plays, I'm not sure how well he's going to age. I think this is a big, big season for Cam Newton because before they lace him with another contract, he has to go out there and be a franchise quarterback. And as David said it, not be good. Cam Newton's not paid to be good. He's paid to be great. And with Christian McCaffrey and DJ Moore, they have to have more from him. So, yes, David, I agree.
Number 4 here, Carson Wentz. The freshly paid Wentz won't have to deal with Nick Foles behind his back. But the Foles winning the Super Bowl does put pressure on him because he has to play catch-up, it says.
Total disagreement. I 100% disagreement. Carson Wentz is an MVP caliber quarterback, and I understand he finished each of the last 2 seasons injured. I get it. But Wentz is a stud. They committed to him. Foles went out the door. He's unquestioned. He's unchallenged. I don't buy any of what you just said to me.
Number 3, Jimmy Garoppolo. Coach Shanahan got the most out of the 49ers QBs after the starter went down with injury. But here's the truth about Jimmy. He hasn't proven a single thing in the NFL beyond winning a few games. You agree with this one?
I think that's harsh. He came in and won, I think he was 5-0 in starts, including putting half 100 on the Jags 2 years ago once he got traded. Last year, he blew his knee out early. I can't hate on him. Is he under pressure? Yes, because, let's face it, he hasn't played a complete season. It just hasn't happened. The trade, the injury, he's not going to lose his job. But there is this discovery phase that we need to go through to figure out, is he as special as we think he is? I'll agree with that.
Number 2 is Nick Foles. It says science has yet to discover if it's the drinking water or the cheesesteaks in Philly that brings the best out of Foles. But with his new deal, Jacksonville better hope he is Philly's version of Big Deal Nick and not anything else. Agree with this one?
I just don't think he's that good. And I don't think the Jags are going to be that good. You want to tell me he's under pressure? Fine. Who are they going to put a quarterback? Blake Bortles? Most to lose? He ain't got nothing to lose. What are they going to do? Start a dead guy? I just don't buy it. I think Nick Foles is coming down there, and he's got all the leverage. He's got all the belief. No, I disagree with that one, David. I think he went to one of the easiest spots he could go to because even if he's not great, he's still better than Bortles.
And the number 1 quarterback with the most to prove in 2019 is it is Kirk Cousins of the Minnesota Vikings.
I'm filing a grievance.
Cousins had a good year stats-wise with the Vikings, but the numbers didn't necessarily agree with the results.
Cousins in a lot of trouble.
Yes, it says with Zimmer's offense improved and the OC for the entire season, Cousins has an opportunity to put to bed all the narratives being pushed by going out being one of the big reasons.
It's now or never.
Yes.
Now or never. It's year 2 of the guaranteed deal. He was downright awful at certain points last year. Now, I understand the offensive line was inept. But when you're paid $30 million a year, it is on you to survive it. It is on you to make it work. Cousins must have a bounce back in a major way. He can't just be a guy. He's got to be the guy. Yeah, David, Cousins would be number 1 with a bullet. No question.
And just to mention it here, there was one honorable mention.
Stafford.
It was not Stafford.
Come on.
It was Lamar Jackson.
How does Stafford always escape stuff like this? Man, all right, I'll let it go. I know it's a time-sensitive thing.
Unbelievable,
David, that's remarkable to me. All right, your vinyl windows took a beating this winter. They're